All right. Yeah, I listened to it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, man. There's like a whole playlist when you sent the thing, so I kind of
Oh
went through.
no shit. Yeah, off that Neo beat. I'm surprised he's the first one that's ever done that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he messing with a good song now. You gotta
Yeah, you
come
can't be fucking
correct.
with greatness.
Right, right.
Especially Neo. I don't think did Neo ever do any songs with anybody rapping on them? Was he strictly stay in the R&B
Uh,
world?
I think he's straight R&B. He might have some like I can't think of any like big songs that he would have where
Yeah,
he where they might have like a cross of some hip hop artists. I'm sure there's one out there, but
it seems like every song they touched was straight fire too.
yeah. Um, man, I put in that 2 weeks at Pizza Hut, man, this past Wednesday.
Did you?
I did.
Did we get you got two more clients then? Wasn't that the plan?
Yeah, I got two more.
Damn.
So
Let's go,
yeah,
Finis. No more whipping up the pizzas, no more late nights,
no more
no more
late
driving
nights.
around.
Oh,
You
those
ain't have
late
to go
nights.
knock on strangers' doors anymore. That's hype.
That late nights be killing me. I'm not gonna lie.
What time do they close? Like 2?
No, Monday to Thursday we close at 11, and Friday and Saturday is 12.
Damn.
But
It's still that still sucks though.
yeah, but
Especially when you get people that want a pizza at 11:55.
bro, when a pizza come in that late, I tell the manager I'm not taking it. I let the other driver take it.
Especially if the manager's not there, I wouldn't answer the phone. I'd just say we closed up. We're done.
Exactly. What else? Man, I had a
So how
story
many
to
clients you
tell.
got at the gym now then?
Uh, I think three total, and then I've been told I'm gonna have like two more people reach out to me, so maybe five in the next week or two.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, not too bad. But bro, I gotta save the story that I had for when Cal was on here, bro.
Was it did you
It,
say it was a dream or some shit?
well, no, the dream wasn't gonna be the story. That the dream was just we were just chilling in this grass field. I see a tiger. I'm like, oh shit! We're in a field, just sitting on lawn chairs, and there's like
Mm-hmm.
a house right here. So it's almost like a big front yard, like a big ass yard. We're
Mm-hmm.
just talking about just bullshit. I see a tiger. I'm like, oh shit! And so I stand up. Me and the tiger lock eyes. I'm like, oh shit! So I'm like, Calvin, bro, let's go. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, bro, let's just get in the house, because he don't see him. Because like I'm facing the tiger, he's facing away, or he's faced with his back to him. I was like, let's go. So we both get up, and he's just like, we're just slow. I was like, walk slowly. We're slowly walking, and the tiger like curls up like he's about to launch. Like he gets in like a starting stance, like a sprinter
Mm-hmm.
stance almost, and he takes off. So I take off. I'm like, let's go. Like the house is right here. We just gotta get to the front door. And I
Yeah.
get there, and then I stop, and the tiger stops, and we're just staring at each other. It was like super weird, and I ended up waking up after that. But I was like, bro, that was so weird,
Bro, if Calvin saw a tiger in real life, he'd be gone.
bro.
That motherfucker would be running a 4-1-40.
You'd have to, you'd have to for sure. Like, he not running faster than me though,
You don't
but
think so? You think
no,
you beat a tiger?
no,
What do you
but
think's the largest animal? What do you think the largest mammal is that you could fuck up in a fight?
that I could.
You think you could fuck up a wolf?
One on one, maybe.
You
I
think you could
think,
fuck up a wolf? 170-pound wolf.
yeah. I mean, I outweigh it by 40 pounds.
That thing's jaws though.
Yeah, well, that's what.
You just kick it straight
No,
in the fucking face.
well, I'm just saying, like worst case scenario. I try to obviously not sacrifice anything, but worst case scenario, I just sacrifice that arm. Once
Yeah.
it gets a good bite on the arm, that I can control it, and I try to kill it from there. But obviously, my arm would be gone.
It'd be fucked. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be an
but
issue.
one on one, I think I got. I mean, I got a chance. I don't think I would. Maybe 9 times out of 10, or out of 10, I'd probably win. Maybe 4 out of 10, but I think that's probably the biggest I could get with a mammal.
Is a wolf? You think? You
Probably.
think
I
you could
think
fuck up a panda bear? No way, right?
no, they're way too big. Well,
Yeah.
we're talking full adult
We're
male.
talking a full on panda bear.
No, those things. No, I think a wolf's about as what's right after a wolf,
I don't know. What would you
Like,
consider? Maybe like a mid-sized bear?
or a cheetah. Cheetahs are about the same. They weigh about the same as a wolf. They're like 160, 170.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting cheetah finest.
No, I'm not. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Those things are built to kill.
and they're fast as shit. Yeah, I think a wolf probably is just because past the wolf, you're getting into like small big cats, like a bobcat.
Yeah.
Maybe no, bobcats are probably smaller than. I don't know.
Bobcats are like 30 pounds or some shit, I think.
So, yeah, cheetah's the smallest big cat I can think of. No, probably a wolf. That's where I draw a line. What do you think?
We need to set this fight up. I think that like a 40-pound monkey, like a straight up, like not like a big monkey, but like a 40-pound monkey. I'm thinking that'd probably fuck me up. I don't think I could beat a monkey.
You think
There's
you got
no
a
way.
chance though?
I
40
mean,
40
we're gonna
pounds?
fight, but 40 pounds, that's a pretty solid sized monkey. That's like
It is, but it's also
like-
only 40 pounds.
yeah, but it's like they're swinging from trees all day and shit. That's like 40 pounds of solid muscle. They probably have
how
less
about
than 1% body fat.
let's say a 40-pound monkey in an open flat field? Obviously, you'd have the advantage because they couldn't use the trees as to its advantage. Open field, flat, 1-on-1, you and a 40-pound monkey.
I think I could do it. As long as it's not like a chimp. If it's a chimp, I'm fucked. But like a 40-pound, I don't know. I'm losing some stuff. I'm definitely.
Bro, if you get a solid
losing
kick
some
on
shit.
it, man, you pretty much win.
Yeah, but then they're like biting and clawing and all that shit. I guess I'd be biting too, but I feel like his bites are probably better than my bites.
Oh, they have
Be
like.
fucked up.
Have you seen their I guess their canine teeth that they have? They're like super long and sharp. They're ridiculous.
Fuck that. I don't want to fight that shit, man. That's why I don't get all the people that like to go on hikes and shit like that. Like, I'll go on a hike, you feel me? But like, I ain't going camping out there. Like, I like being at the top of the food chain. I like being up there. I'm not gonna go put myself subject to a fucking bear. What is this? Bear mountain lion. You ever seen videos of mountain lions stalking people that are hiking?
Yeah, man. No,
It's
yeah.
scary, man. I don't want to run with it. All right,
for
Finis. I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna fucking snap on this shit.
All right, go ahead.
What has the NBA become? I like what is this? Because what it seems to me is that there only needs to be 4 teams in the league, right? Why the fuck are there 32 teams in the league? It doesn't matter, right? There's 4 teams, and I could argue that there only needs to be 2 teams. Ever since when, like 2010 with the Heat, everybody knew that it was going to be the Heat and the Spurs. It's just only been 3 or 4 relevant teams, so I don't know why we're wasting our time having 32 teams. I just don't understand it, because it seems like the smaller market teams are almost like the G League. It's just like the Thunder, the Heat, the Spurs, Minnesota, Memphis, all these players that just go in to get good on these teams, and then it's like, okay, I'm good. Now I'm going to go win a championship, right?
Right.
So what the fuck is this point? And all this, they have to have 41. That team has 41 combined all-star experiences, right? 41 on one team just to beat a 36-year-old LeBron. That's what you got to do. You just got to recruit the whole fucking league to go out there. And I don't want to hear anything from anybody talking about how LaMarcus Aldridge or Blake Griffin is washed, because they're not. They're just not. They're not washed at all. What they are is people that did not give a fuck for playing with the team they were playing on.
Right.
I guarantee you that Blake Griffin can give you 25 any night, and I guarantee you that LaMarcus Aldridge sure as hell can give you 25 any night. Now, all of this just to be a 36-year-old LeBron. I don't understand. It is so frustrating to watch. because LeBron should have like 15 championships. He just should. Right? But we had Golden State with. I'm gonna backtrack here. Elite State. Why? What was the reasoning behind that?
For which one?
Why did KD leave Golden State?
Oh, just because he got his ring and he just dipped out to be like the guy on his team.
He wanted to be the man,
right?
He
to be the guy.
He wanted to be his own, like, leader of his own team. Who the hell does he think he is? With Harden, with Kyrie, with LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, that's being the man. That's going out and doing it by yourself. Harden had to go out there and bitch for 2 weeks and then get traded to the Nets. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. I don't get why we have 32 teams in the NBA. This is why the NBA's ratings suck and that nobody likes to watch. And the only place that people watch the NBA are on Instagram because the highlights are cool. That's it. Their ratings are terrible. They never touch the NFL. It's because they get 2 teams that are obviously going to be the champions. And I do understand that it's always been that way, right? You go back to the 70s, it was the Lakers. 80s, it was Celtics. 90s, it was the Bulls. 2000s, it was, you make the argument that it was some of the Celtics, some of the Lakers, so the parity was kind of there. But then after that, it's just been LeBron's world, and you always know LeBron's going to be in the finals.
Right.
But I don't get it, man. We just put together these super teams, and it's almost like that 28 other teams in the league are just G League teams. They're just going there for development because the fucking Sixers and the Bucks are not going to touch the Nets in that series. And if they do, if they beat the Nets, all of them need to be they need to be disbanded. That team should not be allowed to ever come back in the league if they lose in the Eastern Conference. And my God, I hope LeBron beats them. But it just frustrates me, man. What's the point of watching games anymore? It's just make it a 40-game season then. Do something to make the games more interesting because this shit they can't keep getting away with this. What is up with these super teams, man? We got to end it.
It sells. Well, I don't even know. I'm trying to make it make sense because it sells tickets. Like if you're in Brooklyn or that area, you're going to the Nets games. Like it sells tickets, but
sure,
obviously, pre-COVID, post-COVID, it'll sell tickets. But no, I'm with you. It's just I don't know, man. Super teams. That's just how it is. Because I mean. Would you consider that Miami Heat team, LeBron was on a super team?
I mean, yeah, that team was pretty damn good.
Right.
You had Chris Bosh, you had D Wade, an older D Wade.
But I mean,
yeah, it was a super team. I mean, you had like Ray Allen, Mike Miller. I'm not going to say Birdman, but Birdman. I mean,
he was contributing, yeah. But
yeah, it was pretty much a super team.
I don't know. I just feel like that's just nowadays. It's just that's what it takes to win a championship. So it's just tough.
You think that it's all directly correlated to LeBron? I know that the super team started because of him. The Heat, him going to the Heat and stuff like that. That was his doing.
Well,
to make it like the.
I think who was the year before he went to Miami? Who won the finals that year?
2000. He went in 2010. So the year before that would have been Kobe Lakers. Would have beat the Celtics.
Was it that? Because
2009.
Yeah, it was probably because to beat that Miami team, you had to have a super team, essentially. And then once that super team gets established, then you gotta, you gotta one up a super team. Every time you get the 73-9 Warriors, like you gotta, even though they didn't win it that year, but the last time that Cavs team that beat the Warriors, that's probably the last team that's not a super team that'll win an NBA championship. I think the rest of the NBA, the teams that win will probably be super teams. Or
I just don't understand it. What's the point? Cut that. They want to expand the league. They want to make the league bigger. And it's just not interesting. The games aren't interesting anymore. They don't. The only thing, I mean, of course, I'm going to watch it just because I love watching the NBA. But the only thing that matters anymore is the finals, because we already know who the finals are going to be. And that is if the Lakers even make the playoffs this year, because they definitely, maybe with Drummond, I think Drummond's trash, but maybe with
Really?
Drummond there,
You think he's
win,
trash?
I think Drummond is trash. I
Oh
think they
no,
just
he's not trash. Have you seen
JaVale
his
McGee.
numbers? He puts
He's
up
just
numbers.
he puts up numbers in Cleveland
That's
and
my point.
Detroit. Like,
That's
what
my
the fuck?
point.
Like, it's
Now that
Cleveland and Detroit.
but now he'll be on a better team. He'll put up. I don't know if he'll necessarily put up more points, but being on a better team with better players, he'll play better. He'll be more efficient.
One would hope. We'll see, but
I think
I
he'll be
don't
more
know if they
efficient.
can. I don't know if that puts them in the playoffs. Does Drummond put them in the playoffs?
Well, I think AD will be back soon enough to get some wins at the tail end, but I don't think they'll slide out of the. Well, for one, they have a play-in tournament this year, so
Do they have the play-in?
Yeah, I was watching the game the other day, and they were talking about the Lakers sliding to the bottom, and they were talking about how, uh, so the play-in tournament, from my knowledge, from what I could understand, because they were explaining it, spots 7 through 10 have a play-in tournament, and they're playing for spots 7 and 8. If that makes sense.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So even if you're the 10th seed, you have a chance of playing in play-in tournament. You have a chance of getting the 7th or 8th spot. So even if the Lakers slide to 9 or 10, which they're not going to slide to 11 before the end of the season, I just don't see that happening.
No.
But you see what I'm saying? So they still got a chance. It's just the fact that they'd have to play more games. But could you imagine? They were saying what would be funny is if the Lakers got in the play-in tournament, they got 8th, they got the last spot, and they played the Jazz first series, knocked the Jazz off. They almost have like a smooth sailing the rest of the playoffs if they knock out the number 1 team first series.
I mean, let's be honest though. The Jazz don't stand a fucking chance versus LeBron and AD. It's just nobody in the West stands a chance against them. But I didn't realize that they started that this year. Yeah. So yeah, they're not going to drop to 11. And if you get LeBron, AD into is it going to be a series or is it just one game get you in?
One. I think
it's going to be a best of 3.
I think it's just
single elimination.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So. Yeah, they'll definitely get in then. I figured that they would have slid off if it would have been the old roles,
Yeah. Yeah, because have they won a game since LeBron's been out?
I don't believe so. I saw Montrezl Harrell dunk all over Jared Allen, but that was about it. Lakers record.
Look, now let's not sleep on my sleeper team from last year. Miami now. They're looking good.
They are. They picked up Oladipo, didn't they?
Yes. When Jimmy Butler plays, they are a team that people are going to have to watch out for in the playoffs. Because he does everything. And now you got a guy like Victor Oladipo that can get you buckets. Hey, man.
It just goes right back to the argument. They're going to beat KD. They're going to beat KD, Kyrie, and Harden, and Aldridge, and Griffin.
No. Which, by the way, he's back to dunking. Like I said,
he is.
Back to dunking.
Came out of nowhere.
Because he's not playing point guard anymore. But no, I don't think so. Like
it's
the Nets,
disgusting, man.
Because you also got to remember, their Nets are doing as well as they are right now. KD still hasn't played. Still's not playing.
I still think that injury. Do you think they're just saving him, or do you think that injury is worse than they're leading on?
I think they're just saving him. I think that his injury, he's probably fine, but since they obviously know that they don't need him to win, that they're just like, look, just rest, take your time, and then come playoffs, you'll be good to go if he decides to stay out that long. There's no need to rush him back because
it seems like he's the type of guy that wants to play, though. If he can play, he'll play. It seems like.
Maybe. If that's the case, then it's probably a lot more serious than they say, but I don't know what would be the point of masking it.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if AD's injury is the same way too, because they said it was like it's like a calf or something like that, and usually when they say calf, you kind of think Achilles,
Yeah.
because apparently when you tear your Achilles, you feel it more in your calf than you do your Achilles. Guess you really
Man.
can't feel anything with your Achilles, but that's besides the point. What else
But
happened? Vucevic, Zach LaVine got picked up. Vucevic.
is that the
They
guy
starting to
from
put a
Orlando?
yeah. It's the big
Center?
Serbian. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if he's Serbian. He's European as shit though.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know who he was till the All-Star break. Because he was on the
yeah,
All-Star, he was on the All-Star team. But his numbers look good though.
yeah.
So
He's the only. I think he's one of the only players averaging a double double this year.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
you match that up with Flight Levine over there. Levine's coming out of his shell. It might be a dangerous little team that can get beat by the Nets in a 4-0 series.
But yeah, adding all
Like,
of them never hurts.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, the Nets kind of abide by that philosophy. Adding an all-star never hurts.
Yeah, yeah.
You got the Rondo to the Clippers, Big Lou Williams going back home to Atlanta.
I don't honestly the way the NBA set up, I don't think any of these like trades like that, I think they're completely useless. Cause like
Oh,
I don't think either of the okay, yeah, you could argue maybe the Clippers got a little better, but
I mean, you get the veteran leadership in Rondo,
yeah, you do, but
but I think
I'm
you kind of
saying
had that with Lou too.
anytime I think of a trade, I think in the back of my head, is this enough to beat the Nets?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, well, what I say is it's two steps. One, is this good enough to beat the Nets? If it's no, I ask, is it a step in the right direction? I think it
Mm-hmm.
was damn near a one for one trade. Like,
Yeah.
they just traded another player for another player. They neither got that much better or that much worse. So it's kind of just like all right, cool. But like if you're trying to win, that wasn't enough for the Clippers to beat Lakers. I don't think so.
No, I don't think it was either. But and you're trading. I guess you're trading guaranteed off the bench points with Lou Williams, who's just going to go in there and cook people with the leadership and the game managing of Rondo. And I don't know. Do you want that? Would you rather have the guy that comes off and just goes and gets you buckets, or would you want the guy that's going to be a leader for the backups? And I don't know that they really even need a leader for the people they're coming behind them. Maybe Luke Kennard's a little young, but I don't know. Or hell, I don't know. They might even start Rondo. It seemed like
To play, does Trey play the two?
who
Trey Young.
Trey Young. No, I'm talking about the Rondo playing on the Clippers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That Rondo Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he would start. If I'm the Clippers, I'd rather have a guy that come off the bench and still give me buckets so I can. So I'm just in terms of depth, I got depth because you
Yeah.
have to have depth in the NBA. If you don't
And
have
then
a
you just
bench,
never,
then
yeah, and you never. Yeah, that was the Nets' problem. They fixed that now. I mean, their bench is looking nice because you'll have. I don't know how they're gonna putting all my ill will behind it. I don't know how they'll run with their lineup. Are they gonna do DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench and then starting Aldridge at the 5 and Blake at the 4,
is
and
Blake
then
starting
having?
yet?
I don't think so. I think he's coming off the bench right now.
You
But
think
I mean,
he'll
they're.
eventually start?
I mean, that's the question because I mean, he got hurt in 2019, and before that, he was averaging like 25 a game. In like 2018, he got hurt in 2019, and then COVID year. So he's kind of 2 years removed from averaging 25. And granted, it was on the Pistons. He's not going to be able to average that with the Nets, but their depth lineup's got to be Aldridge at the 5 and Blake at the 4, unless they
Right.
go Aldridge at the 4 and DeAndre Jordan at the 5 for more rim protection. But I don't know what they'll do. And then they have Joe Harris coming off. Pretty sure they still have Spencer Dinwiddie too. That is just that's just a hell of a fucking lineup to go up against, man.
I think come playoff time, they need to start Blake 4, Aldridge 5.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
Then you can have Dinwiddie and Joe Harris, little sniper coming off the bench.
Right. And then you still got DeAndre in your back pocket.
Yeah. DeAndre's kind of a washed version of himself. He isn't what he was 4 or 5 years ago. He's lost a couple steps and a couple inches off his vertical.
Hey, it's perfect for coming off the bench.
Yeah, really though. All right, Finis. I've been wanting to talk to you about this, and we need to go in on this. Let's talk about the Justice League. Let's talk about the Justice League. I watched all 4 hours of it.
Okay.
I was at the beginning when I originally texted you, and I said the slow-mo's getting a bit corny, and he's using it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was overused in the beginning, right? When it was who's the Wonder Woman's clan tribe? What are they called? Yeah, the Amazonians. I thought that they overused it with their scenes, and it just felt like that first 30 or 45 minutes of the movie could have easily been 20 without all the slow-mo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in the big boss fights, that shit was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. And I didn't know. I was talking to a buddy about it. Apparently, Zack Snyder's he's really against CGI. He doesn't like using CGI in his movies.
Really?
And I didn't know that. So that's why the other thing that annoyed me was that he had in the 4:3 ratio with the black bars on the side of the screen was driving me to fucking insane about it. But apparently what he said is that he wanted it to be viewed how he sees it, and in that ratio he gets more from top to bottom, and you don't lose if he stretches it out. You kind of lose some of the camera shots on it,
right?
But I think DC's just they've got to appoint Zack Snyder as just making all DC movies. That's the only way they're going to be competitive with Marvel, because Marvel's kicking their ass up and down the court right now. So I think that they have to have Zack Snyder doing all of them.
Yeah, bro. And then you saw Marvel saw that the Zack Snyder cut did so well. They're looking at dropping a 6-hour version or director's cut of the Endgame.
Yeah, you sent me that. I think I could probably sit down and watch a 6-hour Marvel movie.
Oh, I definitely would. I would just have to schedule it.
Yeah.
I'd have to literally put it in my calendar and be like, all right, like this weekend on Saturday from noon to 6, I'm watching this movie. I'm busy.
I think I could do it, man. I think I could easily, well, not easily. Well, there have to be bathroom breaks and stuff like that, but
I would I'd probably do bathroom breaks. If they do how Zack Snyder did the parts.
Yeah. I'd
probably have bathroom breaks at certain parts or whatever. That's why it's a good intermission time or whatever. But
I just wonder what could they do with this. I thought Endgame was pretty damn near perfect for a Marvel movie. I thought that they hit everything they needed. What?
I hated it. I hate it for one reason.
What do you mean you hated it?
I hate it for one reason. It's because, all right, so Hulk's my favorite Marvel character.
I'm actually watching Endgame on the TV behind us. He's sitting at the diner right now with everybody. But go ahead.
Look, Hulk's my favorite. He's my favorite superhero across DC or Marvel, right?
Why?
Because are you into the comic versions at all? Like the deep
I know touches of it, but I'm not deep.
Okay. In the comics, if you look up what he has done, what he does, what he is, he's you talk about savage, OP, which means overpowered. It's ridiculous. He's unkillable. He has limitless. He's one of the few characters that have limitless power. Now we're talking. There are some characters in Marvel that are omnipotent, basically gods. I'm not talking about those characters. I'm talking about superheroes. Right?
What characters in Marvel are other than Thor? Is Captain Marvel in there?
You talking about
omnipotent?
Well, Thor's not on that level either. Our equivalent of God, omnipotent beings. There's one above all. He's the one that literally is the equivalent of God in Marvel. He created everything. Then you have like Eternity, which is the universe. You have the Living Tribunal, which he lives outside the universe. And you have like the Beyonder, people that literally could just create universes or like go in and out of dimensions at free will. Like these guys are like different level.
Is that what the Eternals is about? That's coming out in November?
No, actually I'd have to look. But I think the Eternals are just a group of like mutants or a group of superheroes.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm talking about like just like superhero characters. These guys, they're not superheroes. They're literally just like I don't even know
the creators of the creator of the Marvel verse.
Basically, yeah, much. Like they watch over the universe, make sure there's order, law and order, and they like don't intervene unless it's like catastrophic levels. But you know, Hulk, he's number one. And besides those guys, he's number one right there because of like what he does. So the way they did him in Endgame pissed me off because so you know in Infinity War he gets first of all he gets maxed out by Thanos, which he in the comics he doesn't get maxed out by Thanos. He literally fights Thanos. Thanos tries to beat it, like he doesn't die, but they basically bitched him in Infinity War, right? Where like he got his ass beat once and like was scared. I was like, oh hell no. But here's what the director said after the movie. They're like, we did that because Hulk is so powerful. We had to find a way to make him a non-factor so we could develop the plot, right? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I get it. You didn't have to bitch him like that, but I get it. You know? Okay, cool. And they were like, we're saving him because he's vitally important to Endgame. Right? So in my head, I'm like, okay, bet. So they're saving him because, you know, when they're fighting in Wakanda, if the Hulk was there, he's fading everybody except for like, you know, he's fading all those little, he's destroying all of them. He damn near would destroy Wakanda itself. But look, so I'm like, okay, bet. In my head, I'm like, all right, so what they're going to do is they're going to save him. And then in Endgame, something's going to happen. He's going to trigger. He's going to snap. He's going to go crazy berserk. And he's going to fade half their army by himself. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Mitch, when I saw that this dude was talking normally in his Hulk form, I got pissed. I was like, oh, hell no. They're trying to do the Professor Hulk, which he's like a super smart version of the Hulk. So I'm like, oh, they're trying to do a Professor Hulk. I was like, that's like my least favorite version of the Hulk, damn near. And so I'm like, I was like, but maybe like during like the end scene, he's gonna like something's gonna happen, or maybe like I don't know, Scarlet Black Widow will die and it'll like trigger the anger in him. Like, so I'm thinking something's gonna happen where he's gonna get angry, and the smart Hulk's gonna go away and he's gonna turn like savage, right? That never happened. Tell me why he used so you know how he used this whatever. First of all, spoiler alert if you guys haven't like we should have said this earlier. But
spoiler alert about 10 minutes ago.
Right. But you know, when you use the gauntlet to snap his finger, brings everybody back, it fucks his arm up. Now, what should have happened is it fucks his arm up. It should have healed back in like 10 seconds, healed back to normal. Because his healing factor is the strongest healing factor in all of Marvel, right?
So does he have regenerative? Like if he loses his arm, he gets another arm?
Well, it gets tricky because technically he's so strong you couldn't cut through his arm. But there is a version of the Hulk called the Immortal Hulk where he can be cut. And if you cut his arm off, he could put it back and it would regenerate back together. But so that's what was supposed to happen. This man was in a sling the last 30, 40 minutes of a sling. The Incredible Hulk in a sling. This man was at the funeral in a sling. Weeks have passed. I was pissed.
But all right, Finis, I'm going to challenge you a little bit on this. First of all, I think the Thor would whoop Hulk's ass. But
there's not a chance in hell.
We'll get into that a little bit later. But could you not argue that the sheer power of having all the stones and controlling it with the snap, that would even fuck up the Hulk, right? Because they're saying it's the most powerful things in the universe, right?
Right.
So is that not enough to justify it fucking up his arm?
Now, here's the thing. I'm okay with his arm getting fucked up. I'm not okay with it not healing. That's all I'm saying. Like, if it got fucked up, it should have healed back because Hulk's healing factor it's elite. Like this man, like I could take some of the feats he's done from obviously. Here's the difference though. Movie Hulk, comic Hulk, two different Hulks. I want them to be the same because the comic Hulk does some some stupid crazy shit, but you can't have the comic Hulk of that level in movies. There would be no movie. There would be no conflict. You see what I'm saying?
Just too OP.
Right. So obviously we had the comic book Hulk in Endgame. It does in Infinity War. It doesn't even get to Endgame. So I get that, but it just saddens me because they nerf him a little too much, like way too much.
Yeah. I guess my argument would be is that, and I was thinking this when I was to jump back to the Justice League, is that the Flash and Superman are kind of OP. Like the Flash's power, that's pretty unstoppable.
Oh, he's untouchable.
It just doesn't seem like, it seems like that's kind of hard to deal with when putting into a movie, right? Because I hated in Dawn of Justice with Batman versus Superman. I know it's accurate to the comics,
right?
But Superman ain't getting bitched by Batman like that. He's just not. He's just not. It's just not gonna happen, right? Like Superman's gonna whoop Batman's ass every single day of the week, and like Batman doesn't have any powers. He's just rich, as they say in the movie.
Right.
So I think that I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying, that when they run into these things with having characters that seem like they're OP. But then I want to get back to it. You're one of the ones that isn't Thor technically a demigod?
Well, Thor he's a full god, 100%.
So then he would whoop the Hulk's ass. He would whoop the Hulk's ass.
No.
I mean, no. That was your argument.
No,
I said that versus me with Wonder Woman and Superman.
No. Wait. Let me clarify. Because when I talk about god level characters, I meant like our God, as in like our Lord and Savior. I mean that type of God, not a Greek god. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was talking.
A Greek god is that, right?
No. I'm saying, I was explaining how like the characters like the Beyonder, the Living Tribunal, they are like, Thor is not omnipotent. Omnipotent means all knowing. He's not omnipresent. It means he's everywhere. Like he knows everything. I'm talking, those characters are omnipotent beings like our God, like our Christian God. I was comparing them to them, not the Thor, the Asgardians, the Amazonians, yada, not those, because those are still like, they're still under that omnipotent level.
Didn't you tell me that that Superman is an alien, whereas Wonder Woman is a god, therefore the god would beat the alien, right?
Well, she has the potential, obviously it depends on the writer, but she has the capabilities of killing Superman.
Okay. So then would Thor not have the capabilities of killing the Hulk?
No, because the Hulk is not an alien. You can't compare Hulk and Superman. So because the Hulk has no weakness. Like literally, you could try to drown him, he won't drown. You could try to suffocate him, he doesn't need oxygen to breathe because he can survive the vacuum of space. Like you can't burn him, you can't cut him, you can't do shit, right? Superman has weaknesses and they've been listed. You got Red Sun, which just makes him human, basically. You got he can't see through lead. That's not really a weakness, it's just chemistry. Kryptonite and god level power. So obviously, like Wonder Woman, she's a demigod. Half her blood is from Zeus. So she has godlike power. Therefore, she has the potential to beat Superman. Just like Thor has the potential to beat Superman. Thor does not have the potential. Well, Thor does not have the potential in a fight. Thor has the potential to beat the Hulk under very certain circumstances. But by beat, we have to specify that because he can't kill the Hulk and he can't necessarily stop him in his tracks. But technically, you could argue, because I was arguing with somebody about Hulk versus Superman. You're like, well, what if Superman takes the Hulk and throws him across the galaxy? Then he wins. I was like, okay, technically, if you want to do that, yes. But the Hulk's coming back. So all he's done is bought himself time because the Hulk will make his way back to Earth. It's happened in the comics because the Illuminati sent them off to a planet, and the Hulk, his family ends up getting killed. And he thought people on Earth did it.
The Illuminati's in the comics,
bro. Yes, it's deep, bro.
What?
So let me go tangent real quick. So this is actually right after the Infinity War saga or Infinity Gauntlet series in the comics. So the Hulk, he was a vital part in that, and so he got to this point where he was so savage, so destructive that so the Illuminati was Mr. Fantastic, Tony Stark, some other like smart Professor Xavier, I think, some smart people, and they were like, and Doctor Strange, they're like, we need to send the Hulk somewhere so he doesn't destroy the Earth because we're finally at peace. They've been at peace for a while. They didn't want the Hulk to ruin it. So they sent him on a spaceship, and they lied to him and told him it was some bullshit. They sent him off far distant planet, like completely different galaxy, everything. He gets there. He ends up building he ends up, there's a guy that was the ruler there, and he worked up the ranks. He became the ruler, and then these people tried to overthrow the Hulk. And so the ship he came there on there, the ship he got there on, blew up, killed his family, right? Hulk's pissed. You know, when the Hulk's pissed, it's never good. So he thought that the people from Earth blew up the ship to kill his family. So what does the Hulk do? Like, all right, bet. He makes his ass all the way back to Earth. Stops at the moon because there was a guy. I forget his name. But there's a guy on the moon that's like, he's like a super strong character. He like shouts, and it's like oh my god, I can't remember his name. But basically, he has like this sonic power, and he's like super strong. And he used this cry that he has that has destroyed planets before. Hulk ate it, right? And he's like, that's all you have? Beat the shit out of this dude. He's like, all right, we headed to Earth. So then he heads to Earth. He gets there. When I tell you, this man, Mitch, he waxed everybody that came across him, bro. He took out Thor. He took out Sentry, which Sentry is like basically Superman on steroids. Marvel equivalent. He went toe-to-toe with
Sentry. He's better than Superman.
Oh, he would fade Superman because it's Marvel's equivalent of Superman, but they made him stupid OP. But the problem is he has multiple personalities disorder, so his weakness is himself mentally. It's like some weird shit, but super strong. He went toe-to-toe with Ghost Rider, which Ghost Rider is the only other character I would put up against the Hulk in a fair fight, because he's one of the only other characters that have limitless power because he's the ruler of the underworld. Like he's
Ghost Rider?
Oh, like Ghost
Nicolas
Rider.
Cage?
Don't think about the movies. The movie ruined. Where's my comic? I actually just bought a Ghost Rider comic book. Anyway, the Ghost Rider, he's my favorite underground character. Like he's underappreciated. He's one of the only other characters. There's only a few characters with limitless power. You got Hulk. Ghost Rider is like number 2 in terms of limitless power. He controls the underworld. He can go in and out of Earth and hell at free will. He can create portals. He has hellfire. His power is based on magic, so he could also fade Superman because Superman can't handle hellfire. Regular fire, whatever. Hellfire is different, right?
Is that in the comics that he says he can't do hellfire?
No, I don't. I haven't seen it, but it's based on magic, and so any power that's based on magic could hurt Superman because Superman has been killed by lightning, but it was lightning from a god, not just regular lightning. So I would assume hellfire from a god or godlike would do it the same, right? With toe-to-toe with Ghost Rider, like faded everybody. He damn near destroyed the planet. Like it's crazy shit. And then, so then fast forward, because it's a long story. There becomes a point where Dormammu, Doctor Strange movie, right? You know that guy that was ruled that his own dimension? Yeah. So Dormammu's sister finds the Hulk, and she was like, oh, this dude is strong. I could use him to overthrow my brother Dormammu and take over that dimension. So what does she do? She brings the Hulk to Dormammu's universe or dimension. The Hulk destroys him. This man's the ruler of a dimension, not a planet, not a solar system or galaxy, a dimension, a full universe in a different dimension. Destroys that man. And Dormammu's sister takes over.
Thanos, but he couldn't beat Thanos in the movie.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. They nerfed him so bad. This man almost destroyed the universe fighting. He was fighting like he was fighting somebody that was like super high, like omnipotent level. and then they almost destroyed the universe. Doctor Strange had to stop them from fighting because the universe would shake anytime that they threw a punch. Like this man, I gotta send you some like articles, bro.
Yeah, I gotta see this. I'm gonna dive in. So here's what I've seen, right? So if we go by viewing order, right, as far as the Marvel phase that we've seen, phase one, we're still in phase one of Marvel, right? Or we're in phase two, or is it like, or is there 4 phases? Now we're going into phase 5.
We're going into phase 5.
Going into phase 5. I turn on my light. I can't see shit in here.
Turn on the lights. I'm looking for.
All right. So let's get this straight here. So if we're in phase 5, right? That's what we just determined is that we're in.
Right.
We're in phase 5. Okay. So it seems like that if you go back and watch, I need to go back and watch all of them because I think the last time that I saw the first Iron Man, I was probably like 11 years old or something like that. But it seems like you start with like a really small group of characters, right? So you start off with Iron Man, then you bring in Captain America, and then you keep going, and you bring in, well, you really brought in the Hulk, then you bring in Hawkeye, and by the way, Hawkeye got done dirty. I don't know why he doesn't have his own movie, but he 1000% should have his own movie. He's my favorite. He's my favorite like sub character, right?
Because
he's
human,
not really,
basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he's my favorite human. But it seems like they got really small, and then they grew to really big, and then they got to Endgame, and then they started killing people off. And now are we back into the small point, and are we going to move again? And they're just gonna another 20-year expedition of just starting off small and then growing big, and then bringing it all back down to one. Is that their plan?
I think, yeah, sort of, kind of. So what they're doing is now that this Infinity Gauntlet series or whatever it's ended, or arc or whatever, now they're going back small because you got the new Avengers. So it's going to be the next Avenger movies will probably be different characters. Probably some similar. I think they'll still have the Hulk because one thing you have to deal with the movies and that you don't deal with comics is you got actors that don't want to play those characters anymore. Like Robert Downey Jr., he didn't want to be Iron Man anymore.
Would they have kept him around? You think they would have kept him around if he wanted to stay Iron Man?
For sure. I know for sure they would have, because he's like the fan favorite when it comes to Marvel or whatever. Him and Captain America, obviously. And then you got Chris Evans. He didn't want to do Captain America anymore, even though now he's signing a contract where he wants to do more Captain America now. He's probably just missed it.
No shit. He wants to come back?
Yeah, I saw that he was talking with the producers of Marvel about doing more, signing to be in more movies as Captain America again.
But how are they going to do that when they gave Anthony Mackie the Captain America slot?
They did?
Yeah, well, at the end of Endgame, they gave Captain.
That was just some bullshit. They're not going to do that.
You don't think so? Even with are you watching Falcon and Winter Soldier and all that shit?
Not yet. I plan on starting it soon, but no, I don't think they're not going to do that. He's probably going to like take the mantle to be the next protector, at like Captain America's spot, but he's not going to take on being Captain America. See what I'm saying?
I thought that's what the Endgame was. I thought it was he got the shield. He's going to be wearing the star and all that shit. And
no, they're not that stupid. That would piss off a lot of people. Like if you're going to kill off a character, kill him off and like let it, like don't hand off an Iron Man mantle and have somebody play like a different, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But so like you have these problems with people, and then some people 40 years down the road, if they're still doing this, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be too old. If you got that problem. Comics, you don't have no custody problems with Sony, with Fox, with character stuff. You have no problems with actors getting old, actors not wanting to be in them anymore. You don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. So, but what they're gonna do is they're gonna have the new Avengers. And they're going to do an arc. So like the Infinity Gauntlet series is an arc. It's basically a storyline that starts off here and it builds up to the climax, the big main villain, big fight. Then it ends, and then Earth is at peace for a little bit till the next villain comes, right? You're going to have the new Avengers. So there'll probably be, obviously, you'll probably have Winter Soldier in there. You'll probably have Falcon in there. You'll probably have maybe Scarlet Witch, but like you won't have Black Widow. You won't have, as of right now, you won't have Chris Evans. You won't have Captain America. You won't have Iron Man. So it'll be a different group, and then they're gonna, like you said, go from there. Because I don't know what arc they're gonna do, but like I know they're trying to get somebody to play Adam Warlock. So they're about to bring in Adam Warlock for something. You still got Captain Marvel. You got obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you have Thor that's still with them. So like you might have new Avengers here, and then Guardians of the Galaxy doing their thing with Thor, and then maybe they're with Thor. That's how they bring in Adam Warlock, because Adam Warlock was brought in through Guardians of the Galaxy in the first one. They had to do in the Cocoon, but they never actually brought him out in the first 4 phases. They just saved him. So you got that, and then eventually they'll probably merge together, and then you just have more.
Who's Adam Warlock?
I'm gonna try to put this. So you know Captain Marvel, her power set. Imagine that times 10. Like Adam Warlock.
I thought Captain Marvel was the most powerful Marvel character
In the movies. Well, not even Thor is the most powerful. You could Thor or Hulk. You could argue is the 2 most powerful characters in the movie versions, characters. Then Captain Marvel is second or is third behind those 2, however you want to rank them. Now, Adam Warlock, comic wise, Adam Warlock would beat the shit out of Captain Marvel. Adam Warlock is like, he's up there. He's super strong because he was created. I don't know his backstory 100%, but he was created to be the destroyer of worlds. Like he can, if he gets obliterated, he can bring himself back together like on a molecular level. Like he has molecular manipulation and stuff like that. Like he's a different level of a beast. But he has he can fly, he has energy projected, and in the comics, he was actually in the Infinity Gauntlet series. He actually holds the Mind Stone in his forehead. Like that's one of his things. But Adam Warlock is stupid strong. And then Nova's
the Mind Stone in his forehead.
Is it mine or was it the Soul Stone? It was one of those stones. But if I could find a picture of it.
Was Soul Stone?
You said what?
Soulstone was in the I can't remember the guy's name. The red
Vision?
dude had the Soulstone in his forehead. Vision, yeah.
Yeah, in the movies. In the comics, man, where is it at? He has one of the other stones. All right, bet. Here, can I share my screen? I feel like I'm in class. This whole Zoom thing. All right, bet. Here we go. Can you see this?
It's all black right now.
I'll give it time.
There we go. Yeah, I got it.
So, do you recognize this from the first Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah,
that was them. That was Adam Warlock. They refer to him as him. That's one of his names. And these people are the ones that created him. But when I tell you, in the comics, he wields the gauntlet. Eventually, he ends up the one that fixes everything, that puts everything back to normal. But you can see he has I think it's the Soul Stone that he keeps in his forehead. It's one of the stones that he ends up putting in his forehead. And they're talking about getting Keanu Reeves to
wait. So he gets to have the whole thing on his hand.
Oh yeah, bro! I'm telling you, he was about it. Like this picture right here. This is actually one of my posters. So that's Star-Lord. That's Raccoon. That's Nova. That's Adam Warlock. And then I can move this. I don't know who these other people are, but
how is he not going to be OP being able to have the whole gauntlet on his hand?
Well, they're not going to use him for the Infinity series because it's over. So they're just going to, I don't know which arc they're going to do, but that's just how powerful he is in the comic. He can wield it without it destroying him because he's that strong.
And how many, and they got hundreds of arcs to choose from to
Oh,
go in now.
oh yeah, like well, maybe not hundreds because they have to have the right setup. So they can't go into anyone they want, but they can pretty much go into the majority of them.
Did they make their own arc?
Yeah, like it's not exactly. Yeah, it's like the movies are based off the comics, but the writers of the movies they just get their inspiration from the comics, but they can write however they want. Because in the comics, the time travel shit that never happens. It's a completely different story in the comics. Because after Infinity War, I was like, okay, I think I know what's gonna happen. Based on the comics, I was telling my friends, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. None of that happened because they did the whole time travel shit. But that's kind of why I minus the Hulk situation, I think Endgame is a phenomenal movie. Minus the Hulk. If I wasn't a Hulk fan of the Hulk, obviously, or if that part you take it out, the movie's fantastic. That and if you take out Thor being overweight, fantastic movie.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Are they got to go back to ripped like God looking Thor, right?
Yeah, I think they'll just have to where he gets back in shape or something. They have to. There's no way. I think they'll lose a lot of fans if they keep him like that.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. It was funny. They should have kept him that way for like 45 minutes during the movie, but like once he got that new once he got the axe of whatever it is. What's it called? The axe that he got. Yeah. Once he got that, it should have been like once he got that power, he should have like.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna
just automatically went ripped again.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. Yeah. And I was like, oh no.
I mean, there's just no point of keeping him fat after that.
Stormbreaker and Mountaineer because he had both. That was live when he had both of them.
So, are you at what point in these movies did you know that it was going to be the Infinity series or the Infinity Gauntlet?
I knew early, damn near the first Captain America with Red Skull when they had the Tesseract. The Tesseract. Because I knew the Tesseract.
So the Tesseract was what set you off? Yeah,
because the Tesseract was housing one of the stones. And I knew that from the comics. So I was like, oh, that's a soul, that's a stone. Oh, that's an Infinity Stone. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, they might be doing the Infinity series. And then I think there was a second, I forget which movie. Oh, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, there's another stone involved. And that's okay. They're starting to show multiple stones. It's gonna be an Infinity Stone series or Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know if I could get into the comics now, man. You start reading those as a kid?
No, not really. I didn't really start reading them till I didn't get real deep into them until college. But you know what you can do? You know what you can do though? You don't have to if you want to know about them but don't want to read through them, bro. If you get on YouTube, there's so many people that you can just watch YouTube videos and they'll get a comic, they'll tell you everything that goes on in it, and you don't have to read it. And they explain to you why it goes on.
Yeah.
And, they explain like the history and then where they're gonna go from there and all that kind of stuff. And then after you watch the video, you basically read it.
Yeah. So with do you have any, because Spider-Man Far From Home's the first one in Phase 5, right? That's the first Phase 5 movie?
Yes. Yeah.
And so any idea where they're going with it next?
Multiverse.
And that's gonna be, they're gonna have to do that well. They're gonna have to do that, especially since their audience goes from 12-year-olds all the way up to 60-year-olds. You know, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to make that pretty easily digestible.
I think they will, because they're casting Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, the other two Spider-Man, they're casting them as their actual Spider-Mans. But instead of treating them like reboots, they're treating them like separate Spider-Man universes or dimensions. And so Doctor Strange is going to be a pivotal part because he's able to travel between dimensions and universes.
That's what I was about to say. So Doctor Strange is their new flagship character. Basically, if they're going down this road.
Basically, because he's gonna what's the the actor's name for this Spider-Man? I forget. The British dude.
Man, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
So with the Tom Holland Spider-Man, that Spider, he's gonna face some kind of villain. There's gonna be some kind of problem where they need help, but they need more Spider-Man, some type of help that they need more Spider-Mans to get, or like somebody that like, they don't have time to go get Thor because he's in a different galaxy or whoever. And so Doctor Strange is gonna, are we gonna go get this Spider-Man? It's gonna be the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then it's gonna be the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's gonna be those 3 Spider-Man. And then I've been keeping up with who all they're casting. Apparently, Dr. Octopus is supposed to be in it. Apparently, there's some other characters supposed to be in it, but they're gonna bring them all together, right? And you're gonna have this multiverse by whatever. And then that is key for this next few phases, because now that you introduce multiple universes with different characters in them, now you can bring in X-Men now that they've got custody of it, because they can.
Yeah, that's
X-Men.
next, right? X-Men's coming in.
Yeah, so now they can be like, oh, well, we can go to this universe or this dimension, and they have mutants on Earth instead of people with superpowers. Superheroes are like people like that. Now they have mutants, so now they can bridge mutants into this universe because they have a way of just pulling it out. It's their way of pulling it out of their ass, but it's a creative way of doing it. With bridging.
So nobody's gonna be able to. None of the characters are going to be able to fuck with what's her name from the X-Men universe.
Oh, Jean Grey,
the most powerful one. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to fuck with her, right? Once she goes into her, like, you think once Thor goes psychopathic, when she goes psychopathic, stuff happens.
Yeah,
when she loses control,
that'll depend because they actually killed her off in the last X-Men movie that they did that wasn't under Marvel was the Phoenix, whatever. They kill her off, so she's dead. So it depends where they start, because what they could do is they could bring them in as is. So Jean Grey's dead, Wolverine's dead, Professor Xavier's Professor Xavier's not dead, but like, you know what I'm saying, those characters are already dead. They bring them in as is, then they just work with what they got, or they kind of do it as a reboot where this would be kind of a cheap way to do it, but they could go back in time, go back to, you didn't mention, back in time before those people died, bring them in, and then the Phoenix, and then the Phoenix events never happened because it's an alternate timeline now. Yeah, if that makes sense. But there's a bunch of different ways they can do it.
It seems like they're going to have trouble bringing them villains that are as strong as, if they're going to have the X-Men, all of Marvel characters, they're going to have to bring in some big time villains that are will be able to stand in front of them.
There's plenty. They can bring in the Fantastic Four now, so you could bring in Doctor Doom, which his movies didn't do him justice. He's like a top 5 villain in Marvel. Like he's really like, he's super smart. That's really the problem, and he's also just strong as shit.
Yeah.
They could bring Ultron back because Ultron technically, I guess technically they killed off Ultron, but because of the way his character's set up, he's just a computer consciousness. They could bring him back easily if they wanted.
So is all of them, when they bring X-Men, is it all going to be considered the MCU?
Yes.
Okay. So are they you think they'll put Deadpool in there?
No, because Deadpool is the only character Sony wouldn't give up, because that's the only movies that
I'm so tired of Sony, bro. I am so tired of Sony. Why do they keep doing this shit, man?
Well, you know why they had those characters to begin with, right?
It was Stan Lee sold them off back in like the 90s,
yeah, because
right?
they're basically going bankrupt, and they needed the money, sold them off to Sony, and with that money, sold them off to Sony to keep Marvel Comics or whatever. This obviously before they were a film production company, they were just comics. Sold them off. Sony was making movies before them. Now that they did Blade. Blade's a Marvel character. Blade made enough money for Marvel to start buying back some of these characters, because they started doing movies with Blade did so well. Started buying back some of these characters. Well, you know, Sony has made a shit ton of X-Men movies. They rebooted it, I don't know how many times. So they were hanging on to them. Same with Spider-Man. They had the first 2 Spider-Mans. Those were all Sony. The original one and then the reboot. And they were still making money because Spider-Man was famous from those movies. So they were selling stuff, merchandise, making
For
money
sure.
from it. But eventually, at this point, Marvel is way past where Sony is in terms of making superhero movies. So now Marvel is like, look, because I think with Spider-Man, it's joint custody. So some of them are joint custody where they're like, I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they're joint custody because like in Venom is a part of Spider-Man. In the Venom movies, it says a Sony production, an association with Marvel. So if you see association with Marvel, that means it's
then
joint.
They got the custody.
Right, it's joint custody. Otherwise, it would just say flat out Marvel. Because
and Venom was Sony too, right?
Yep. Which very, very well did movie though. I love that movie.
Yeah, Venom was good. Did they grab that one? Did Disney grab them?
It's joint.
Damn. X-Men still gonna be joint, or did they buy X-Men straight up?
I think that they bought X-Men out. I'm not 100% sure though.
And they held on to Deadpool, huh? So we still can't see Deadpool.
Not as of right now.
That'd be hard for them too. I thought that in my mind, what I thought they were gonna do is that they should bring the X-Men in and make them all R-rated movies. Just make them kind of almost like a DC. Make the X-Men the dark version of the Marvel universe. Oh
yeah, I mean, they should because a lot of the characters, like it's like Wolverine shit's supposed to be dark. Like it's not like for kids. Like that's why like Logan, that's how the X-Men or that's how the Wolverine movie should have been. Very violent, very aggressive, very bloody. Because that's his character. He's an animal, literally an animal.
Yeah.
Like that, but before then, it was all PG-13. He wasn't. You didn't see people. You didn't see the bones sticking out when he cut people's heads off. That's how it should have been.
Yeah.
It's like with that's why they made originally, Venom was rated R, but joint custody with Marvel. Marvel's owned by Disney. They made the movie PG-13. They had to cut back.
I didn't know that Venom was supposed to be rated R the first time.
It was supposed to be rated R, and like apparently that part where he first goes full Venom in the street, and he has that guy, and he eats his head. The original cut, you see him eat this man. You see him eat him alive. The PG-13, you hear it, but they cut away from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want the rated R version. I want to see the rated R version.
Yeah, everybody wants it. I would think so, but it's just gonna be hard to do, especially with. I mean, if they were to get Deadpool, there's just unless I guess the joke could be is that they make Deadpool go in and like be self-aware that he's in a PG-13 movie and say that he can't say the things that he'd usually say or something like that.
That'd be something he would do too.
Yeah, that's the only way that you could do it. But man, you throw Deadpool into the MCU universe, it's just that would be fun.
It would be. I don't know why. Fun. I wish Sony would just do joint custody with all their characters because if we're being honest, it's gonna help Sony, even though. Whatever. It's gonna help Sony because Sony, let's be honest, besides Deadpool, their movies aren't even close to Marvel. So if Marvel is at least,
let's make an argument. All
right.
I thought that the Amazing Spider-Man was very well done.
No, I think the original Spider-Man, besides the third one, I didn't like how they did that Venom because Venom's huge and they made him like
all those were those.
The first two are good to me. The first two are good.
Those first two, man, Spider-Man's too much of a what's the politically correct way to say that he's just too much of a. We'll just call him a pansy. He's just crying all the time. Like no.
Well, yeah, but
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, get him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want him.
But like you said, they're still well-made movies. They're good movies. I'll watch them again for sure. But they still don't come close to Marvel. Like we're talking Marvel. Like Captain America Civil War.
That's the best movie.
Like you see what I'm saying? Thor Ragnarok.
I thought Civil War was dog shit. I'm be honest with you.
Really?
I think Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie ever created. I think it goes Winter Soldier, Endgame, and then Infinity War.
Regardless, those movies, we're talking upper echelon superhero movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Sony, when it comes to, like, think how many times they had to reboot X-Men. They reboot them for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't just reboot something that's successful.
That
right. You don't reboot something that's super successful. They never rebooted an Iron Man. You don't want to know why? Because them hoes go hard. They rebooted X-Men and I don't know how many. The Wolverine movies never rebooted, though. Those movies were good. The solo Wolverine, but the X-Men?
Yeah, they were.
But if Sony would just be like, all right, look, we won't give custody of all of them because we still want to keep a piece of the pie, but just give them enough custody for Deadpool to be in MCU, man.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I want to see. Fighters, I might go down this road. I think upper echelon superhero movies, top 3 superhero movies. I think DC's got 2 of them.
No,
I think DC's got The Dark Knight. That counts. Dark Knight's the best superhero movie of all time.
No,
bar none.
It's great. It's not in my top 3.
What do you mean? The Dark Knight. We're talking Heath Ledger winning Oscars.
No, you're right.
You're telling me The Dark Knight's not one of, if not the best super. The Dark Knight alone, not even being a superhero movie, is one of the best movies of all time. Well, it was beautifully done.
It was beautifully done, but I think the Joker movie you could probably argue the Joker movie was better than the Dark Knight.
What?
Have you seen the Joker movie?
Yeah, with Joaquin. How do you say his name? Is it Joaquin or Joaquin? Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do a better Joker than Heath Ledger.
Oh, I don't
stop it.
I don't know.
Stop it. Stop
it.
No,
good.
Finest. No, Finest.
Well, all right. Let me play devil's advocate. The fact that Joaquin Phoenix didn't have to do drugs to go insane enough to play the role that well.
That's true.
Because Heath Ledger did have to. I don't know if he had to, but he did it phenomenal job. But he literally killed himself because he was taking drugs to play the role that well.
Now, what I heard is that Heath Ledger locked himself in a hotel room for 2 months. Only getting room service,
so he could go crazy.
Yeah, so he was only studying, and he was getting in. Yeah, you lost me off the anchor again. I don't know what keeps going on with that. Make clips of them, a little easily digestible. People might like.
All right, we're good.
Just throwing darts at the wall. Listen, Heath Ledger locked himself into a hotel room for 2 months. He locked himself into a hotel room for 2 months. He went so deep into the scene where he's in the hospital and he's meeting Two-Face for the first time?
Yeah.
So in that scene, Aaron Eckhart was Two-Face, and he was just laying in the bed. He was laying in the bed waiting for Heath Ledger to start that scene for 45 minutes. It was like a 30 or 45 second scene, but Heath Ledger, just as the Joker, was just walking around mumbling to himself, like shaking his head and stuff like that for 45 minutes straight with nobody on set saying anything to him, just walking around talking to himself. And then he just started, and then they got the scene in one cut. Nobody has ever submerged themselves into a role like Heath Ledger did with the Joker. I think it's the best superhero villain of all time. I think it's the best superhero villain of all time, bar none. I don't think that Bane comes close. I don't think Thanos comes close.
Bane's for sure close. Bane's close.
Bane was a badass. Bane was a badass. But you're telling me if he would have stayed alive, and it's a shame, rest in peace to the late Heath Ledger, but if he would have stayed alive, Bane never enters that. You get the Dark Knight Rises Joker V2.
No, Bane still would have been
in Arkham Asylum.
No, Bane
would have. He would have still came in.
No, I think Bane would have still had a story plot, but there probably would have been another movie with Joker. Like they wouldn't have. I don't think they.
Yeah, I mean that.
The problem with predicting that is that Batman movie came out before the MCU started because Marvel and DC are in constant competition. So when
Yeah, it was
Marvel
2008
started,
when that Batman movie came out.
right,
Yeah.
when Marvel started their MCU and it started to get big, DC started their DCU, their equivalent to the MCU, and rebooted everything.
Yeah.
Just so they can have a DCU start point. So I still think that they still would have had the reboot. Now, would Heath Ledger have still just played the Joker in the new reboot? Probably. But it has still been a different picture.
I just would have thought, I would think that Christopher Nolan would have went off, and instead of having the Dark Knight Rises, it would have just been because he didn't kill the Joker at the end of the movie, right? He saves the Joker, whatnot. I'm guessing that's the Joker goes to Arkham Asylum is probably what the comic books have him doing.
And he always escapes.
Yeah, you would think that it would be the third movie in that series because there's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. Instead of The Dark Knight Rises, you would have got whatever the hell they would have named it, and then it would have been about the Joker getting all these freaks out of Arkham Asylum and taking over Gotham or something like that. I'm saying that Bane only comes into existence because Heath Ledger died. They knew they couldn't get another Heath Ledger to play the Joker, and if they would have brought in another Joker, it would have just been a disservice to what Heath Ledger did. And
I don't know. I feel like I might have to disagree with that because when trilogies, there's a new villain each movie. So it would have been too redundant to have Joker the villain in the second one and the third one.
I guess you're right on that, but it was the Joker was just too good of a villain.
No, he was.
He was too good.
He's definitely like in like comics or just he's that one guy that is always a factor at some point because Batman never kills Joker. Well, Batman doesn't kill in general.
The comics he never does.
Batman doesn't kill unless he absolutely has to, and he never kills Joker. He always arrests them, puts him in Arkham Asylum, and somehow he escapes again. It's like so repetitive.
Keeps getting out, huh?
Literally, he just keeps getting out over and over and over. Batman just keeps putting him back in. At that point, I probably would just kill him, but
so we're you would think. So we're gonna disagree on the Dark Knight. But I think a top 3, top 5-ish superhero movies, Man of Steel. I think you got to put that up there. That was a beautifully done movie from the get-go.
It is. But when you're talking about from top to bottom, everything, the first Wonder Woman is probably the best DC movie that they've ever produced. That first Wonder Woman.
I really did like the first Wonder Woman.
Have you seen Aquaman?
Yeah, it was good, but I think Man of Steel was better.
Have you seen Aquaman?
No, I never saw Aquaman.
Aquaman's probably just as good as the first. It's probably just as good as the first Wonder Woman. It's phenomenal.
Who directed? It's Zack Snyder.
I have no idea who directed it, but I can tell you, Jason Momoa played that role to the T. He makes Aquaman look like you ever seen the like Aquaman in the comics? He's like a goddamn goof with the blonde hair and like the sparkly it's like spandex. He makes Aquaman look cool, like a badass.
Yeah, bro, it's hard to have him. It's hard to have Aquaman be cool because it's just it's a cool power, but it's kind of lame. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, he talks to fish. That's all he does. Like, nah, he's strong as shit now. Let's not, but that's all people know. Doesn't he just talk to fish? He does a lot more than that.
So quickly, and I was watching the Snyder's thinking about it. Could he control the water in the clouds?
I think he can only control water as a liquid form. I don't think he can control water vapor.
Okay. I thought that they were
I don't know because he can create storms. I think. Well, the comic book version, I think he can create storms by manipulating the clouds because of the water in the clouds. But I don't think movie form they have him doing that much power, like that OP or whatever. But yeah, he's up there.
Excuse me. That's interesting. But you don't think that Man of Steel is better than Wonder Woman as far as top to bottom, just
No,
well done
no.
movie?
Man is Steel. Like I love Man of Steel. I'm not disagreeing that it's a phenomenal movie, but I think the first Wonder Woman is better. I'll put the first. I think the first Wonder Woman. I'm thinking of all the movies. I would go so far as say it's the best DC movie produced.
It's just you're just reaching on that one.
I'm
It's
trying
not
to
better than
think.
Dark Knight, man.
I would. If you ask me, if you put the Dark Knight in front of me,
do we even consider?
Consider what?
Go ahead.
Oh, if somebody put somebody put the Dark Knight in front of me and put the first Wonder Woman in front of me and said, which movie do you want to watch again? I'm picking Wonder Woman.
Damn, dude. I've seen The Dark Knight probably. I'm not shitting you. I watch it 2 or 3 times a year. I've probably seen it over 50 times.
Oh, I have it on I have the whole trilogy on DVD. Like I get you.
Yeah.
Like I get you. Like I'm about it. Like I love it.
That movie so many days.
It's great.
See, I haven't watched Batman Begins in a long time either. I need to go back and rewatch those. Fucked up with The Dark Knight Rises, man. There was just there's so many plot holes and just ridiculous things that happen in that movie that just make you kind of scratch your head. Like, how the hell does he have a broken back and then climb out in a month? You know, like
it was more than
you like Ben Affleck as Batman, by the way.
He grew on me. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me.
Yeah. So
the scene where he in Batman versus Superman, this is where he started to gain my respect. When he in Batman versus Superman, when they finally squashed their beef because their moms had the same name, and Batman went to go save Superman's mom while Superman went to fight Doomsday. That scene where Batman runs through that whole warehouse and fucks those dudes up. That's when I was like, all right, Ben.
Yeah.
All right, man. I see you. I see you. Holy shit. He went stupid.
You think Christian Bale though? You think Christian Bale's the best Batman? He just plays it. You're not about to tell me that you watch the 70s movies and stuff like that, are you?
No, it's just I didn't like when it comes to obviously part of it is me being biased because of the technology that they make movies with now. Like the suits look the CGI or special effects or designing of the Batman stuff looks better now. So I think Christian Bale was a better Bruce Wayne. I think Ben Affleck is a better Batman only because of the special effects that these movies have now in terms of the
good
Batman
argument.
stuff.
That's a good argument. Because and like Ben Affleck's a little beefier than Christian Bale.
Right. Like, he looks like a solid Batman type build. Like when he was working out and he's had those like 3-4 plates when he's doing the pull-ups, I was like, all right, man. I was like, okay. Let's get swole for the role, I guess.
Are they gonna do anything with Joseph Gordon-Levitt at Robin? Are they doing anything with that, or is that just this is years ago? This was in 2012 when that happened.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
are they going to bring him into the DCU? I guess if they haven't done it already, they're not even thinking.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Robin, like timeline wise, oh shit, Robin. I think before Batman even found Justice League, Robin was already like a character. So I'm pretty sure when they go their separate ways is when Batman goes to Justice League and then Robin goes to Teen Titans. So I don't know. I feel like at this point they shouldn't because I don't think Batman's going to get another solo movie. I don't see there's not really a point. He should just be cameoed in all the other movies if he's in them. And then from here on out, you know, there's no point in bringing in Robin because he's not a part of Justice League.
You don't think Batman's going to get another solo movie?
Well, I know he's getting one with the Twilight dude, but I don't know why they would. Because, well, I keep forgetting that Snyder's cut.
I mean, you kind of have to give the Snyder's cut's before what?
Before the reboot, because technically they've already rebooted the DCU, except for they rebooted Superman, Batman, but they're not rebooting Flash, they're not rebooting Wonder Woman, they're not rebooting Aquaman. So I think Batman and Superman will probably get another solo movie with their new actors. And then from there, they're gonna. And I think the Flash is supposed to get his own movie. I think Martian Manhunter is supposed to get his own movie. And then they're gonna have
Black
another.
Adam.
Yeah. Ooh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite anti-hero in DC. That'd be exciting.
So, and I think what I was thinking the whole time. I know we need to wrap this up, but what I was thinking the whole time watching Zack Snyder's cut is that this was the reboot. This is the Snyder cut of Justice League was them saying, okay, fuck everything else that we did.
Right.
This is what we're starting off.
That's what
right?
I would
you
hope.
know, this is and I was watching it in a place I didn't really understand the prologue too much. If you want to explain that to me, what the hell was the desert scene when Batman was talking to the Joker, and then the yacht scene and all of that stuff? What was all that stuff?
All right. So the yacht scene is probably feeding into the new solo Batman movie, because that was Deathstroke. Deathstroke is my second favorite anti-hero in DC. And so Deathstroke is like a big villain or a big nemesis, what do you want to call it, of Batman. But he's basically a hired contractor, but he's got powers. He has a healing factor, and he's just like hand-to-hand combat, like he's an assassin. They call him I forget what they call him. Terminator. So that's what that is. And so Lex Luthor is like, I know Batman's name. His name's Bruce Wayne. So obviously it's going to just be them fighting Batman. So that might be feeding into the next Batman solo movie. Now, the desert shit, this is an arc that they're leading up to. It's called Injustice, okay? In the Injustice arc, Superman becomes a villain. So I knew, and here's where I knew that they were going to go into the Injustice storyline, is because Superman has a black suit in the Injustice arc. So when I saw that in the new Zack Snyder, he wears a black suit, I'm like, ooh, that's a reference to the Injustice. So do you want me to tell you what happens? Because it might be spoiling. I'm assuming this is where they're going to go. So if I'm right, this is going to happen in the next movies. Are you ready for this?
Well, you were wrong about you were wrong.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You might be wrong about this.
But all right, so here's what happens.
Let's hear it.
Joker ends up making Superman. Basically, Joker kills Lois Lane, Superman's lover. Superman goes batshit crazy, right? And he wants to kill Joker. Batman's like, no, you can't kill Joker. And Superman's like, bro, every time we put him away, he gets out, he kills more people. If we just kill him, nobody else has to die. Batman's like, nah, fam. So Superman basically is like, all right, you got to choose either Joker or me. Batman chooses to keep Joker alive. Superman pissed, right? So then Superman creates this alliance where he basically goes around, and if you're a villain or you're a criminal and you kill people, he kills you. Yeah. Then Batman starts this revolt against Superman, but Superman's so strong, he goes through, he kills off basically anybody that's against him, he kills him. So he ends up killing Aquaman. He ends up killing he doesn't ever kill the Flash, because Flash is untouchable. But he ends up killing I think he kills, this is the comic, I think he kills Martian Manhunter. He ends up killing like Hawkeye, Hawkgirl, like he kills Green Arrow. He kills a shit ton of people, like shit ton of superheroes. And so that dirt scene is I don't know where they're trying to go, but they're hiding from Superman because he's killing people because he's still pissed because of the whole Lois Lane shit, and he goes rogue. So now, but what they're doing is they're putting a touch on it, because obviously we saw Darkseid was like he had that skeleton in his arm, and Darkseid was like basically like, fam, you come with me, this will never happen again type shit, right? Yeah. So I guess they're gonna have Darkseid when he comes to Earth, something happens where Lois Lane dies, and Darkseid says, if you come with me, this will never happen. I can help you. It basically manipulates Superman to work for him, and then it's gonna be Superman Darkseid versus the planet. So that's probably where they're going with that whole scene. And Joker is literally the reason for the whole Injustice plot. Like the whole arc in the comics, Joker is the main, like he starts it. If it wasn't for Joker, it would have never happened. That's why Ben Affleck was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, I cannot wait to kill you. Yeah. And he doesn't kill.
Make no mistake, I will kill you.
Yeah. Because Batman's pissed that they're even at this point. Right. And then if you remember and was it Batman versus Superman where the Flash comes to Ben Affleck, or Bruce Wayne through that portal, and he's like, Lois is the key. You remember that?
Yeah.
The small scene. So that's the Flash that goes back in time trying to tell Bruce Wayne, make sure Lois Lane does not die so Superman doesn't go apeshit crazy and kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's from like, it's going to be 2 or 3 movies from now. He's going to go back in the past and tell Bruce Wayne, fam, save Lois Lane. But he went back too far because it wasn't close enough to the incident, right? Or close enough to what's going on. So that's like they're trying to be like Marvel, and they're starting to connect shit from the past episodes to the or past movies to the new movies.
Yeah.
I get shit.
Damn. Yeah. So what's in how's Black Adam mixing in this? Who is Black Adam?
So Black Adam is this. So you know Shazam, right? So Black Adam gets his. Have you seen
I like Shazam. I like that movie a lot. Shazam was good.
So Black Adam and Shazam have the same powers. They get their powers from the same guy. But Black Adam, he's thousands of years old. He was alive in like ancient Egyptian times when they had pharaohs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And basically, I think his family gets murdered, and so he goes to this wizard and he was like, grant me power. And the guy grants him the Shazam powers, and he's super powerful, yada yada yada. And then in the comics, he's more of a villain. But obviously for this movie, he's an anti-hero because he has teamed up with Superman and he has teamed up with Billy or whatever. But they're obviously casting as more of an anti-hero in this series. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but he's my favorite anti-hero because he is one of the only few people that has killed Superman with his bare hands.
Really?
Comics, he's fighting Superman. He has Superman by the neck, holding him up. He yells out Shazam. Lightning bolt comes down, hits Superman. Dust.
Done.
Dust.
Damn.
He's a skeleton. Gone.
So they got. I guess it's got to be pretty good if The Rock decided to take that role, because I'm assuming Marvel's had to approach The Rock about taking some type of role, right?
I hope so.
You would think Marvel had come to the Dwayne Johnson at some point and said, "Hey, like here's X hero that we want you to be," and if he decided to go with DC instead of Marvel, it's got to be pretty good.
And he's also directing it too, so I hope it's well done.
Yeah, and that's coming out pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. Well,
yeah, I hope. Is it later this? I know they're currently filming it. I think, or they're close to. They've been filming it for a while, but I hope it's good because he's built about as big as Black Adam in the comic. Black Adam's a solid dude.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, you would think that The Rock should be the Hulk, right?
No, because Bruce Banner, in the comics, he's a normal sized guy.
Oh, okay.
So he's like,
I guess that would make sense.
He's a scientist, normal sized guy, and with the special effects, they make him. He's like the 3rd tallest character in Marvel, something like that, 3rd or 4th.
Damn. All right, final question before we wrap this up and go on to science with Strib. Do I need to watch all these MCU shits on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
WandaVision and
yeah, you're probably gonna have to.
Yeah. Is it gonna feed into the movies and stuff like that?
Yep.
Damn. Okay. I heard WandaVision's pretty slow until like episode 8.
Yeah, I'm only on episode like 4 or 5, but it's starting to get like oh shit.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah, getting a little bit easier or digestible.
Yeah. But
I'll start that tonight. I'm gonna start WandaVision tonight and see what that's all about.
Hell yeah. How long? When did we start? Are we going on 2 hours?
I think so. I think we went on quite the tangent with
Do you want to just save this stuff for next episode?
Let me see what's the time dilation?
Yeah.
You gonna talk about like black holes and why time goes slower near black holes and all that shit?
Kinda. Yeah. I mean, it's part of it, but what do you want to do?
I'll let you decide.
All right, let's save it because it might be like a 20. Like, we'll probably get tangent, and it's gonna be like an extra 20 minutes.
All right, and then no lunch table since Calvin's not on this one.
Yeah, we'll skip that, and then we'll just put this stuff at the front of next week.
All right, and Calvin, if you're listening to this right now, get your ass back on here. We miss you.
He didn't
All
count
right.
the COVID. No, he didn't catch COVID.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be my outro. Calvin, get your ass back on here. Get some mayonnaise. Get some sour cream. A little Zach sauce. Bring that shit with you.
Nah.
$5, Finis. $5.
All right. All right. Man, 32 episodes. We appreciate the support. We're logging off. I hope you enjoy our tangent talk about Marvel superhero stuff. Not too much sports going on, but hey, if you got any suggestions, hit me up on my Instagram. You can hit up Mitch on his Instagram, or you can email at ivtalkspodcast@gmail.com. We're just having fun with it. All right, Mitch, we get right or we get left.
All right.
We're out.
We'll see ya.
Even if I touch a meal and do it through the pain, I don't need the pain. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be